What's up, everyone, and welcome to Season 5, Episode 8 of Girl You Know What podcast. I am Danielle.
And I'm Keisha.
And so last week we took off, and usually it's planned, but it was very last minute. And we had quite a few things to talk about. I had a household emergency, which is taken care of now. Yeah, so we didn't have any water. One of the pipes broke, and so we found it was, the water pressure was low, so we had people checking on it. Like, we had the city come out and everything, and they were checking on it, and then finally they were able to figure out what was wrong. So the very day that we were going to call to have somebody come out and look at it, I got up Friday morning for work to take my shower, and there was no water. Like, it was just
Wow.
yeah. So I was just like, wait a minute. So I went downstairs, checked the sink, same thing. Went to go flush the toilet, nothing. So I was like, oh shit. I was like, I got to tell my grandmother. So, but yeah, so we were able to have, like 3 people were able to come out and look at it, and we, of course, went with the best one. It was my cousin Ryan, his friend, his old roommate, whose name is Ryan too. He's a contractor, so he came out and his people did it, and didn't do it till Monday. So, we were scrambling. I mean, of course, we got plenty of family. So my grandmother stayed with one of my aunts, and then I stayed at my mom's house since the kids were going to be there. So yeah, it was, but yeah, so that's what
Absolutely.
happened there. But things happen. So
Yeah.
so let's go ahead and proceed. First, let's talk about something positive first. So I don't know if I sent you this article or not, but there's a publication here in Columbus called Mahogany Columbus, and I just heard about it like maybe last year, so I don't know if it's fairly new
hmm
or if it's been around for a while, but they posted something on their Instagram page that I thought was very interesting and that I didn't know about. So,
Uh-huh.
did you know in Central Ohio that we have 3 black mayors in the suburbs? I should say in the suburbs. There are 3 black mayors.
Let me guess. Hold on. So there's 3 black mayors
Mhm.
in the surrounding suburbs, is what you're
Right.
saying.
Yeah.
I would guess Gahanna,
No.
Westerville.
Yes.
Hold on. Um. God, where else do people live?
One you'll never guess, because I was like, me and my grandmother were like, what, huh?
Whitehall.
Yes, Whitehall, yes.
Okay, so I got 2. I got Whitehall and Westerville. Where else? The third one is the hard one.
Yes.
Okay, wait a minute. Let me think.
This is the one that took us out. Westerville, we were kind of like, okay, we could see that one because they're
I'm
very
a little
diverse.
shocked by that though.
Yeah, we
We
were
used to live in
too.
Westerville. So my senior year of high school, we moved there,
Right.
and I'm a little shocked by that.
Yeah, but it's very
Um,
diverse now. Like, you'd be surprised if you go through Westerville, you'll be like, wait a minute. But
I'm
yeah,
trying to think.
girl, you would
Hilliard.
no.
Um.
Think
Uh,
north of campus,
North of campus.
Ohio.
Bexley.
No.
Where?
Upper Arlington.
Shut up.
And guess what? She's a woman.
How the hell did they pull that
And
off?
she's a black woman, and she's African. Like, she has an African name. I don't know if she's African or not. I'm not
You
going to.
Republican?
I don't know.
Uh-uh.
It's possible, but I don't know. I had to look that up. And
I mean, I'm just because I'm learning in the last like 30 days
oh, girl.
that Africans are like heavily Republican,
Mhm.
which is wild.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. So
it's wild, but knowing that they are very work hard, get it
Mhm.
for yourself. You can do it on your own.
Right.
I don't want you giving me anything for free. Like knowing that they have that belief system,
Mhm.
I can see them not being Democrat.
Oh yeah. Totally see that. Yeah.
Because that is completely the opposite of what Democrats believe.
Mhm.
So I can see that in some way.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
very interesting. I was like, wait a
Upper
minute.
Arlington
Yeah, that's the one that really threw us off. We were like, what? Huh?
is a black mayor.
Yes.
Huh.
And the thing
Yeah.
about some quick history about Upper Arlington was one of the first um, settling spots here in central Ohio for black people,
Mm.
so
Oh,
it's kind of come full circle, I guess you could
full
say.
circle. Yeah.
Yeah, but that was very interesting. So I want to bring that up. So
That's nice.
yeah. Because of course in Columbus, we had a black mayor for years, Michael Coleman. So,
Don't do my boy. Don't say nothing bad about Mayor Coleman.
oh no, 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 I love Mayor Coleman. No,
'Cause
I'm just
black people be ready to nail him to the cross.
well, black folks gonna do that about anybody in power. I mean, it's just like,
Yeah.
it's just it's sick. It's like I don't know what y'all expect. Y'all kiss these white folks' ass. But never mind, that's a whole nother show for a whole nother day. Because I can go in on that, girl. But something else that I guess we can look at positive real quick. Tubi, our favorite streaming app, is bringing Who the F Did I Marry to their app. They actually filmed a movie, and I don't know when it's coming out. I just happened to see like the trailer, I guess. And I
Now
was
I've
just
never watched a Tubi movie. Let
me
me be
either.
honest.
I've watched a TV show on there before because when I first heard of Tubi, actually I was over our friend Michael's house,
Uh huh.
and I think he just like got this new TV, and we were going through the app setting it up or whatever,
Uh huh.
and we were watching like some old TV shows on Tubi, so I thought it was
Now that's what I
cool.
was gonna say. I think Tubi, gets pumped up so much for these wackadoodle movies that they have.
Right.
But you can actually watch real TV on Tubi.
Yeah.
Like, now, have
Yeah.
I watched, like, sometimes if I would go to my Amazon Fire Stick where you search for movies,
Mhm.
and if it tells me that it's on Tubi, I will go watch it on there.
Right.
But, like, to just be, how do y'all even find the movie? Like, how do you know?
Right.
What are you searching that's pulling up? I made this movie in my bathroom. Like, I don't
Listen.
know. That shows the poor quality of Tubi to me.
Yeah.
If that girl just finished that series 3 weeks ago,
I think so. Yeah, it wasn't I don't even think it was a month
yeah,
ago.
because she was on the TV circuit last week when she
Mhm.
making her rounds.
Yep.
So that's wild to me that you all have actually made a movie
Right.
in 2 weeks.
Yeah. And I know it's going to be trash, but I'm going to watch it.
Terrible.
But I'm going to watch it. That's probably going to be the first movie on Tubi that I watch. I was like,
No,
"Oh,
I didn't even finish her telling that story. Because
oh, I
when she
had
got to
to."
part 3, I was like, oh, hell no, I know where this is going.
It was a-
Baby, I can't stick around after a lot of lies.
listen,
Mm-mm.
it was bad, and it just got worse and worse. Of course, it got worse, but yeah, I'm going to watch it. I'm not going to lie. It might be
And the
out
fact that
already.
you hear him, I told you, when we hear him, it's like, what?
Oh, girl,
You
he's
got
crazy.
hustled by this dude?
Yeah, oh my
Oh
gosh.
my God. It just be really disheartening.
Yeah.
It's just the
It's
lies
so
be so
oh
grandiose,
my gosh.
and y'all just let them go. Baby, no, no.
And
Now I can take a lot of stuff,
right.
but that making up stories
Yeah.
and you expect me to believe them, and be quiet about it?
Yeah.
It ain't gonna work.
Nah, that ain't going no.
Mm-mm.
Woo. But we needed that though. We needed that drama though.
Mm.
Ooh, okay. So yeah, so that's coming to a Tubi near you. So there we go. So what do you think about this one? The possible TikTok ban.
So I
Girl.
just explained this to my niece.
Yeah.
I said, listen to the language.
Mhm.
They're not going to ban the app. That's not what they're saying.
Right.
They are threatening to ban it if he doesn't sell it.
Mhm.
So I think that's the piece that people are missing.
Mhm.
They're telling him, if you don't sell to an American, we're going to ban it.
Right.
And I told her, I said, this has nothing to do with all that stuff that they're talking about. The moment they introduced the TikTok shop, that is when it became critical.
Oh yeah.
Because now they're in direct competition with Bezos.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I'm thinking about it, it just made sense to me. Now people were saying like, oh, uh, Jamie Dimon and Warren Buffett and Jeff Bezos are unloading their stock. Oh, something big is about to happen. Those motherfuckers are going to try to buy it.
Oh, I can totally see
I
that.
bet that's what it is. Now
Excuse
it
me.
just made sense to me right in this moment.
Oh, and I could see Bezos
Because
being like
people
one
were
of the
like, "Oh,
first
it's some big
ones.
conspiracy. They're selling all their stock." They are putting themselves in position to purchase it, to
See?
have enough money to offer it. Because what does Bezos do best? He buys the competition out.
Yeah. That's why he's
That's
where
what
he's
he
at.
wants, and
Yeah.
he sees that they are in direct. In direct competition with TikTok Shop, to the point I had to kind of snatch myself by my senses and say, "Wait a minute, let me see if they got this on Amazon." Amazon wasn't even my go-to anymore.
Yeah.
And now I see where he feels the threats.
Mm-hmm.
Because his people who religiously shop with him are now saying, "Oh, I got this off the TikTok shop."
Yeah.
And he feels threatened by that.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's hard, and trying to get your stuff and be a seller on Amazon and figure out the pricing.
Right.
I have to price my stuff right to be able to get the looks.
Mm-hmm.
People are just putting their items on TikTok Shop.
Yeah. I mean, I've bought so many things
I
on
bet
TikTok
that's what
Shop.
they doing.
Listen,
It just dawned on me.
it's
I
going to go
bet that's
down.
what they doing.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what they're telling him. The only way you'll be able to, you can't operate it. You have to sell it to an American.
Yeah.
We really kind of live in a communist nation.
Oh yeah,
Like
definitely.
undercover.
It's very, very
It's very
communist. Yeah.
in the shadows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They want you to believe that it's all about, which I mean, it still is
That
about
you have some
capitalism,
freedoms.
but yeah, but there's still there's some underhanded stuff going on, behind the scenes that is very communistic. I don't know if that's a word. I just made it up, but
Dang.
whatever. Girl, it's a
That's
trip.
what I bet they doing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm sure they're watching the profits. This TikTok is no, because it's not on the open market. They probably wouldn't let that happen.
No, I doubt it. Yeah.
But they can take it public if it's theirs.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
They can take it public.
Yep. Oh, I
If
could
it
totally
belongs
see
to
that.
them, they have the control to open it up.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, mm, mm.
It's always something. It's
Mark
always
my
something.
words. It's
Listen,
something.
yeah.
I bet that's what it is. I didn't think about it before. I
Mm-hmm.
was really like, oh, maybe something is going on. They
Mm-hmm.
selling all this stock and they doing this and they doing that. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, we'll see what
We'll
happens.
see what happens. See, that's why I like bringing up things because, you know, our minds are always going,
Mm-hmm.
and then like you said, like when you were talking through it, it was like, huh,
Mm-hmm.
maybe yeah,
Yeah, I didn't
so
think about it. I was explaining to
mm-hmm.
my niece yesterday and was saying, like, you know, listen to what they're saying. They're
Yeah.
saying he can't control it. Like he can't be a part of it. They'll ban it if he doesn't sell it.
Right.
So they don't want to shut it down. They just want to possess it.
Yeah. That's
And
what it
I've been
is.
watching Scandal.
Uh-huh.
I've been rewatching Scandal. And let me
Yeah.
tell you something. If Scandal ain't teaching me nothing else, y'all talking about the Chinese getting my information. Y'all already got it because y'all watching us.
Yeah. Oh, and that's, listen, I totally believe in that Big Brother stuff. I believe that there's too much stuff out here. Everything is too focused on electronics and satellites and all that. You don't think that we're being watched all the time? Come on now.
Let me tell you how you know you're being watched. And I have pointed this out to people time and time again. Sit your phone on the table.
Mm-hmm.
Look for something. Say you're looking for something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even if it's a random video, this how you gonna know they listening. It can be a random video and you say, God, I cannot find that video where that little baby was tap dancing.
Mm-hmm.
So I give it a day. It's gonna come down your
Oh yeah.
timeline.
Mm-hmm.
One day.
Yeah, but
But
no.
I was on the phone, like
Mm-hmm.
physically on the phone, talking to somebody and we were talking about Marco's Pizza.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, when I lived in Fairborn, that's the only time I like ever really had Marco's. It's
Mm-hmm.
not around here, so I haven't been able to eat it. Like, oh, is it good? Yeah, it's really good. I bullshit you not. 30 minutes later on Instagram, a Marco's Pizza ad came up.
See, yeah.
They're listening anyway,
It happens all the time.
all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So when you feel like, oh God, I cannot find that, this is gonna drive me crazy. Don't let it drive you crazy. Just say it out loud.
Yeah.
Say what it is you want with your phone in your hand or in
Mm-hmm.
earshot of what you're saying. You'll find it.
Yeah. You can turn
That's
off.
how you know they're already listening.
Oh yeah, and we get these little you see these emails going around or these people posting stuff, talking about turn this setting off, turn that setting off. It don't matter.
Girl, please. The
Yeah.
microphone still
It
works.
still works.
Like that don't make a difference.
No. Cuz you need that microphone to talk on the phone. So it's like you ain't
Yeah,
gonna never going to turn that. So as long as that's
that
on,
might work. No,
yeah.
they
See.
can hear anything you saying. The phone is sitting right here on my leg.
Mhm.
I'm telling you, we get off of here, I'ma probably see a Marco's Pizza ad,
Right.
and I'ma screenshot it and send it to you when it come up.
Cuz it's going to. It's going to.
It's going to.
Yeah, last week, matter of fact, last weekend, um, all four of my nieces and nephew were over, and the
Mhm.
baby, she'll be 1.5, and so of course she's into all that, those little baby cartoons and stuff. So we were sitting down in my mom's room, and we put on. I'd never heard of it before. It's called Bluey. I don't know if that's the name of it, but that's one of the characters on there, and I guess she loves it. One of my nieces was like, "Oh, put on Bluey. It's on, whatever." So do you know, like you said, the next day, I'm scrolling through Facebook and I see all these kitty
Yep.
cartoons and stuff.
Mhm.
I'm not searching for none of that stuff on my phone.
Mhm. Yep.
All we did was talk about it. So I'm just like, if y'all listen.
I paid my grandmother's phone bill
Mhm.
yesterday on my laptop. Her Cricket phone bill.
Mhm.
I got so many Cricket advertisements on my cell phone.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, yeah, they listening.
Listening.
All your stuff is connected.
Mhm.
They listening and they tracking your movements, your
Yep.
keystrokes, everything. So it's a wrap.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
So it kills me when they try to act like, oh, the Chinese are watching us.
Mm-mm. No, it's y'all.
It's y'all.
Mhm. Where do you think they
And
get those
why y'all
stories
care so
from?
much?
Right. I mean, they don't want you to
First of
find out.
all, why do y'all care so much? So I saw something interesting that said black women as supervisors.
Yeah, that's where I was
And
going next.
most of the women, like there's this big issue that they have with
Mhm.
black women supervisors, and they keep saying with older black women supervisors.
Mm.
So I do want to say that most of the women who bring this grievance are in their 20s, their
Mhm.
mid 20s, late 20s, early to mid 30s.
Mhm.
And this is no attack against them.
Mhm.
These are just hardcore facts. What I'm noticing, and those are millennials, those would be considered millennials. And I think they call them the alpha generation.
Yeah, I just
I
saw
just
that last
saw
week.
this.
Yeah.
I just saw this today. Like it was posted somewhere. So we have to discuss parenting styles when we say this. We talk about
Mhm.
this because millennials. Um, now, again, I'm not being offensive. Millennials, because they are very close to our generation too. It
Yeah.
said that you are a Generation X if you were born in whatever to 80.
Mhm.
81 to whatever, you're considered a millennial.
Right.
Um, we have we are fortunate enough to be the Generation X.
Yes.
Um, and I don't think it's even people who were born in like 82, 83. I don't think it's them.
You still kind of
We
consider them Gen X because we're all I mean, it's just like it's
Right,
hard to separate that, but
right.
technically they're
But when
millennials.
we start getting into the people born in 89, I'm gonna start right
Mhm.
there.
Yeah.
Um, the parenting styles began to change.
Mm-hmm.
I think parents became a little more hands off,
Yeah.
and the relationships between mother and daughter lost a lot of respect
Mm-hmm.
in those eras.
Mm-hmm.
Eras. And what I find is you don't those women who make those complaints that it's hard to work for black women supervisors. So let's talk about women who are in their 40s and 50s.
Mm-hmm.
We were in the workforce and governed under policies and procedures and rules and doing things a certain way to get an appropriate action.
Exactly.
Um, and that's just the way it is. We don't when we're at work, let me say that, we
Mm-hmm.
don't see another way. First of all, because this is not your business.
Right.
This is not your company. This is not my company. None of this belongs to us. Whoever is in charge here has put forth a set of procedures and policies that this is the way they want the company to run.
Exactly.
And what I notice about millennials, they want to do what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
But this goes back to parenting styles because they lack a lot of structure at home. They, and if they had a mother who, excuse me, was overbearing,
Mm-hmm.
they buck against that.
Yeah.
They don't like to be told what to do. They don't like to fall in line.
Mm-hmm.
And so what you find when they come to work is they don't want to listen to you. They refuse to listen to what you say. And you get this, oh, black women supervisors, they do the most. They just be doing too much. And
Mm-hmm.
why you gotta talk to you ain't gotta talk to me like that? Who you think you're talking to? Well, really, that's a lot of misplaced anger that you got for your mama.
Basically.
You're really mad at your mama.
Mm-hmm.
And since you really probably don't have a balls to say it to your mama, because it ain't that you don't want to, or you probably gonna listen to some of that stuff they be telling you on the internet to go no contact with your mother.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't say what you want to say to your mama. So every other woman who has a position of authority, you treat her so disrespectfully. You don't want to deal with her. You have an attitude. As soon as you see her coming, she ain't gotta say shit to you, and you already mad.
Oh yeah, you just see her and just like, oh, here she go.
Exactly. And let's be clear, we all had supervisors too that we may not have black women,
Mm-hmm.
who we may not have had the best relationship with.
Right.
But here's where the line is blurred today. We respected everybody.
Exactly.
We respect everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone, from the crackhead to the first lady. We show people respect.
Mm-hmm.
We don't treat people like crap
Right.
just because they get on our nerves.
Yeah, I was gonna say, regardless if like there was a supervisor I had, a black lady, who something happened at my job, and I told you about this where someone, okay, I'm just gonna tell the story real quick, shorten it down, but I got a promotion. It was my first big promotion at my recent job that I got. And someone called the employee line and didn't think that I should have got the position because they thought somebody else should have got the position.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and this was basically I took her position when she got kicked off the team because she was such an asshole. And
Oh.
yeah. So the position was open. I had long tenure on the team. I was really the only person who wanted the position, who had long tenure on the team. So I was like, well, if I can go for this position, stay, people know me, they're comfortable with me, I could be a lead on the team and it'd be effective. Okay.
Right.
So the supervisor I had, black lady, she was very she was even on the interview panel, so she was very instrumental in pushing me to go for this position.
Right.
Not only that, her supervisor, which would be my branch chief,
Mm-hmm.
she's a black lady too. And they fought for me to stay in that area because how it works is like you do this interview panel, they interview a whole bunch of people. And if there's more than one position open, they could put you anywhere they want to.
Oh, okay.
The goal is to keep you where you're at, where you had the most knowledge. So of course
Okay.
they fought for, not really fought, but they really wanted me to stay there.
Yeah.
So I was able to stay there. So the lady found out that I got the position. She wanted this other girl, of course, a white girl, to get this position. But first of all, she wasn't even in a position to get it because she wasn't at the right pay grade to be, she would have had to skip like 2 or 3 pay grades to get the
Oh,
position.
yeah,
Yeah,
no.
so she wasn't even qualified that way.
Mhm.
So she called the employee line and basically said that I wasn't doing any work when I was her lead. That's what gave her away because she's so stupid. When I was her lead, she wasn't doing any work and blah, 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 all this other stuff. So, of course, they hear
Now they
about it.
gotta investigate,
Yeah,
right?
now they got to investigate. So they look at my numbers and they're like, well, she's looks like she's working on this day, but not on this day. But what it is, our job had a lot of research. But of course, when you look at the numbers, it doesn't look like I'm doing anything. So that's how she played it. Now my
Mhm.
supervisor and branch chief, they know how they know how the work goes, but the
Right, they
people
know how your day is set up.
exactly, but the people above them, they don't know. You know, so they're just hearing this and they're like, "Oh, well, we got to do something." That supervisor and that branch chief fought like hell for me. You know, and they were like, no, you know, because they were trying to they were basically trying to punish me, like take my telework away and all this other stuff because they just felt like something had to be done, like this was a problem, even though they didn't know and didn't really truly want to investigate. They were just like, well, before this goes to the director, we got to find
So
out
the
what's
lady who reported it, was she black or white?
white, of course, yeah.
Oh my
She looks like
god.
Large Marge. Remember Large Marge from
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
And she was just an evil person, you know. She's still around there. I
Well,
haven't
she
seen.
wanted that white girl to get it.
She wanted the white girl to get it right,
Yeah.
and you know, so that's all it was. But I guarantee you, and I hate to say this, but if that would have been any other race, they would have probably gave in because
Mhm.
they weren't ready for they're not going to try to fight. They're not going to do, and you know, and I could be wrong. It could just be the person, but the way that they fought for me was just like, you know, no, no. It was like a motherly thing, and they pulled me to the side. They couldn't tell me who it was. Like we took this all the way to the
Mhm.
union, you
Right.
know, but I knew who it was. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But anyway, but it's just like before that,
See, that's not everybody's experience, basically what you're saying,
yeah.
you
But
were in a situation where black women fought for you.
yeah. Now before that, I wouldn't have thought that that supervisor, because the way that she supervised, which she was she's a good supervisor, but she was very like nonchalant and very like, you
Mhm.
know, you know, so I didn't think that she had that in her just from her being
Mhm.
my supervisor. But when it came down to it, oh, that motherly figure kicked in like it was nothing.
But see, and also I think, um, and I think this for men too, in the way
Mm-hmm.
that they handle women.
Mm-hmm.
When you have a negative relationship with your mother,
Mm-hmm.
if there's not um a grandmother
Yeah.
or a strong figure of an aunt or like somebody who steps in that role for you as a mother
Mm-hmm.
to like mother you, I think you just go through life with your ass on your shoulder when it comes to women.
It's almost like mommy issues almost.
Yes. But men have it too.
Mm.
You
Oh
know,
yeah.
I warn Sade all the time. If a man has a poor relationship with his mother, that is not the man you date.
Right.
Because there
Exactly.
are some underlying issues there that regardless of what you think or how you think you can fix it,
Mm-hmm.
he is always going to be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
That's why they always
unless
say
that
watch
man
how
is
they treat their
actively in
mom.
therapy,
Mm-hmm.
then he's going to be a problem. And it's just not something. And I mean, she's 17, and I tell her
Oh
this,
yeah.
like, you have to know this early
Mm-hmm.
to walk away from certain things because we have been, and this is not about what we're just talking about, but I tell her this because it feels like we raise Black girls to become Black women who struggle,
Mm-hmm.
even if they are financially sound and, financially free, and if they have a plethora of wealth. And I'm talking about physicians, lawyers, but In love, we teach Black women that struggle is okay.
Yeah.
And most of the time, the struggle that we teach Black women is okay,
Mhm.
it's abuse.
Well, just like I mean, to try to identify this with the younger generation. Remember when I can't think of what the name of the song is. It's one of Beyonce's songs, but she has that poet come on, and she says at the beginning of it,
Oh, yep,
we
yep.
teach Black women to
I
shrink
listen to that
themselves.
all the time.
Mhm.
Yes. It's flawless.
Yeah, flawless. Yeah, there you go. I couldn't think of the name of the
Mhm.
song. Yeah,
Yep.
and that's true. It's like we teach Black women to shrink themselves
Let
in
me tell you
every
something.
aspect.
Me and Ronnie were literally early this morning
Mhm.
having this conversation about the way men and women approach relationships.
Right.
We were talking about something, and I said the woman is always going to be at a disadvantage. I was watching something on
Mhm.
TikTok, and I said, this is really sad. I said, but what the woman is always going to be at a disadvantage when a breakup takes place.
Mhm.
Um, because most of the time, women are being taken care of
Right.
financially. They are doing the caregiving, but financially, most of the time, and I know now women are making a lot more money, but most of the time, these housewives, they're being taken care of.
Yeah.
So, how do they leave? Like, what do they do?
Mhm.
So we had this conversation, and you know, I told him, we need to start raising boys. I said, from a young age, women are already picking themselves apart.
Right. Yeah.
It's always somebody telling her, May, you better watch that girl. That girl eat too much. Oh,
Mhm.
look at her. Look how dark her skin is. You
Mhm.
need to get some of that soap and rub it on her real good. Oh Lord.
See,
Look at
yeah.
this. Oh girl, look at her hair. I said,
Mhm.
women are picked apart. I said, we say this to little girls.
Yeah.
We say this kind of stuff to little children.
Mhm.
I said, but nobody ever tells a man to be honest with himself about his shortcomings.
Right.
Nobody looks at a man when he's a little boy and tells him, "Boy, you cockeyed.
Mhm. Oh, you need
We
to put that
you
plate down. Nuh-uh, he's a growing boy. Things like it's always something.
it's completely different." I
Mhm.
said, so then when y'all become men, you honestly believe that you should be allowed to get any woman you want, and it's
Mhm.
not true. I said, so when a man rejects us, we turn that on ourselves and say, well, he probably don't like me because I mean, look at my hair, look
Right.
at my this, like, oh, I'm too big, or I'm too this. We are already taught that from a young age to we're the problem.
Mhm.
But y'all are never taught that y'all are the problem. And that's why men lack so much accountability
Right.
because we don't put it in you as little boys. So lo and behold, now I already done talked about how me and him had the conversation about Martha Stewart, right?
Mhm.
So he likes to watch The Pivot, and with Ryan and I don't know them other boys' names. Fred, I do know Fred.
Mhm.
I know Ryan and Fred, and the light skinned one. Um, they had Gail King on there,
Mhm.
and Gail was telling a story about, because they were asking her about her dating life, like how do you date Gail? Like,
Right.
she's wealthy, so she told a story that she was dating a man for a few months, maybe two
Mhm.
months, and he asked her for $4,000.
Oh, okay.
So the, this show you how rich Oprah is. Oprah said, I'd have felt better if he asked you for 40,000.
Yes.
Okay, some of that. So he asked Gil for $4,000, and he said he would give it back to her on Thursday. It was Monday. He
Uh-huh.
said it's just a little child support issue I came into. She said, now mind you, this is a man who makes six figures. Like he has a great salary, like he has a great job. He's not a bum.
Right.
She said she wrote the check. She said I gave it to him. She said, and he did give it back to me on Thursday.
Mhm.
She said, but it was different after that. It was like I didn't, you don't feel the same after
Right.
that
I get
happens.
it. Yeah.
So so it was astonishing because on TikTok there was an interview where a young lady was explaining to a guy who was on her co-host. They're on a
Mhm.
podcast together. And
Mhm.
she's explaining to him, some women are just out of y'all's league.
Yeah.
Well, how would she know that if we don't get to talk? Because she don't like you. You don't what he he literally like did not get it.
Yeah,
I
they
was
don't get
sitting
it.
here with Ronnie this morning and he was like, so, what if she just got a guy? I said, here you go. I knew it was
Mhm.
coming. I could feel
Mhm.
it. He said, well, what if, it's just a guy who's a normal guy who tried to. I said, this is what you need to ask yourself. And I told you this the last time. When would a poor man, because see, now I got to speak plain English to y'all.
Right.
And I don't like to use the words rich and poor, like not in that context
Exactly,
to
yeah.
belittle someone. But you have
You
to
have
because
to.
they are stupid, okay? I said, ask yourself when would a poor man as yourself be in a room with a rich woman like her? You'd be the help in the room that she's in.
I mean, let's talk about it.
Well, see, this what I'm saying, because why do it gotta be? I mean, what if I just want to take her on a nice date? I said, you can't afford it. The date is your paycheck.
Yeah.
But what if you he was still and I started to laugh
That's all you could do because that's all you could do in
because
that situation.
it is astonishing to me that
Mhm.
even men who are broke as hell
Mhm.
honestly believe they have a chance. And I told him, and I just told my niece this 2 weeks ago. I said, social media has ruined men to the point that they are unrealistic about themselves
Yes.
and they are unrealistic about the women that they are supposed to be in relationships
Mhm.
with.
Well, because like
They,
we saw somebody who said that they know women. I mean, we somebody that we know in real life. And I was
I
just like,
mean,
okay.
it's like y'all have become, you have let all of the ability to see all of these women has you believing that you can obtain all of these women.
Mhm.
You cannot, sir. They are not for you.
Right.
You are poor. And I think that really needs to sit with you.
Mhm.
Because even in talking to him today, I said, but do you see what's happening? I said, you are here. She is here.
Yeah.
But what about growing together? I said, it would never happen. Did you just see that the man gave her the $4,000 back and
Mhm.
she still didn't like him?
Right.
Because once a woman has to take care of you, she don't want you.
Mhm.
Why y'all don't know that? Who's telling y'all this stuff?
The
No,
manosphere.
he wants to take care of you.
Okay.
And it was really laughable because I wish I could have recorded his face. It
He's
was the
really
look on his
confused.
face that he was just like, I said, and do you see how you seem to be upset at the fact that I'm telling you she out of your league? Any
Yeah.
woman that's rich is out of your league.
And
See,
still don't think
social
so.
media has people not knowing that they're poor.
Yeah.
And that's where it's really messing people up because it got poor people trying to like go broke and it's making them feel bad about themselves
Right.
because they live what they would call a quote unquote normal or boring life.
Mhm.
I just saw a girl crying on a video. She's in law school. I think the gist was she was frustrated about her midterm grade.
Mhm.
But one of the first things she said was she was crying. I mean, I'm supposed to be, I'm 20, I'm supposed to be turned.
Oh gosh.
See, this is where it's fucking y'all up.
Yeah.
Because it don't even have y'all, you don't even want to participate in real life
Mhm.
to obtain a glorious lifestyle.
Exactly. Where you can be turned every day if you want to.
Because see, this is the part that social media is missing. It's
Mhm.
the work.
Mhm.
It's giving you the glory,
Yeah.
but it's not giving you the work. And so when you have to actually do the work, you are spazzing out.
Mhm.
It's that is the part that's really astonishing to me, how it has really gotten poor people to believe that they deserve a lifestyle that rich people live.
Yeah. And I will say this, like speaking of the work part, that was probably one of the things that I really agree with Kim Kardashian on when she said that it was the right message, the wrong messenger.
Right.
That was it.
It's one
But
of those things we call in the church, you eat the meat and you throw the bone away.
yeah.
I forget who say it, but it's
Mhm.
what they said true.
Yeah. So I had to separate myself like, well, she's telling the truth, but
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
like
Listen, sometimes Candace Owen be telling the truth.
I was
Sometimes she do.
me and a friend were having a conversation about that not too long ago, and I was like, sometimes she be telling the truth, like
Yeah,
we got to listen to her sometimes.
yeah. Again, eat the meat, throw the bone away.
Mhm. Wrong messenger, that's it.
Yeah, she telling the truth.
Mhm.
But yeah, like it's that is the part that's really it really has men. I seen a video and a guy was like, he listed on one side 1 through 10, and then he had these different body types of women, and he said, "Here's the 10 guy, and the
Mhm.
problem is the 10 girl wants the 10 guy, but
Mhm.
so does the 9, 8, 7, 6." He said even the one wants the 10,
Mhm.
and vice versa. You
Yeah.
are a one as a man,
Mhm.
and you think you deserve a 10.
Right.
Child, it has it's ruining people's
It
minds. It
is.
is. If it's doing one thing, it has made your thoughts unrealistic.
Mhm.
Like a guy was on a podcast telling two young gentlemen, he said, at any moment, they actually can stop people from coming across the border.
Right.
But the real problem is, he said, y'all don't want them jobs.
Mhm.
He said, I worked, I think he said it's sanitation. He said, I worked in the sanitation department. I retired after 30 some years. He said, but my kids, y'all, he said, y'all don't believe y'all supposed to pick up trash.
Exactly.
Them
That's
post
beneath
office
you.
jobs, them plumbing jobs, y'all don't want to do that work.
Mhm.
They need bodies in those jobs.
Right. So
So
who do you
why
think's going to
wouldn't
do
you
it?
think they're gonna come over here and let them work?
Mhm. Yeah.
Ronnie works in a plant right now. The whole second shift is African.
Mhm. Cuz
So
nobody wants to
like,
do it.
I mean, because they're going to get people who Americans have become so lazy and like complacent.
Mhm. Agree.
We
Th-
want everything handed to us,
Mhm.
like we really do. And now, let me take this. Is it harder for Black Americans? Absolutely, it
Oh
is.
yeah.
We get shut out every chance that they can shut us out. But what I think Black people are missing right now, this is an opportunity for us to bloom
Mhm.
because the workforce is light.
Yeah.
White men are on dope.
Mhm.
White men cannot pass drug tests. And it has been that way for about 8 years.
Right.
This is the time for you to tell your sons who don't want to go to college, go learn plumbing,
Mhm.
go learn electrical. This is why you should pay attention to your kids, because you should be able to see what is he good at.
Right.
He might not be that great where he wants to stay in school for 4 years,
Mhm.
but can he go get a certification in lumber, what they call it, woodwork or whatever?
Right.
Can he go get a certification in plumbing, in electrical, in HVAC? You know, and can
Mhm.
he get an apprenticeship under a company for a year or 2 years?
Right.
Can I get him a job at the county?
Mhm.
When did y'all stop wanting county jobs?
Listen, do you know like how long it took me to get on where I'm at? Or not only
I
just
remember
that,
that you was applying for a long time and you got
listen,
it.
listen, and not only where I'm at, but a state job, a city
Yeah,
job, a
it's a
county
state
job,
job. I
any,
remember that. Yes,
yeah. It's just
yes.
like,
Like,
come on now.
when did y'all become too good? Do you know sanitation workers make good money,
Li-
y'all?
listen.
Post workers make good money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, your kids out here hustling for that little bit of money when they could get a paycheck and have a pension and be safe and out the streets.
Listen, listen. I
Two little
remember.
boys just got murdered here yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
14 and 17.
Yeah.
And I mean, the first thing that came to my mind, it wasn't yesterday, it was Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing that came to my mind, why are they outside on a school day?
That right. That's the first thing I think about. Like when I hear about these, 14, 15, 17-year olds, whatever, I'm just like, why aren't you at home? Number one.
We went in the house.
Mm-hmm.
We got off the school bus, walked home, did our homework,
Mm-hmm.
maybe took a nap, and our parents came home and fixed some dinner.
That was it. We weren't thinking about, being, I mean, you wanted to be outside, with your friends, especially when the weather got nice and everything,
But
of
not
course.
always on a
But not,
weekday,
oh,
not on a school day.
no.
Maybe towards the end of the school year because daylight saving time had kicked in
Mm-hmm.
or whatever it was, and it stayed darker a little longer.
Yeah, but by the time you got done doing what you had to do and everything, it was dark anyway. So, what I'm like,
Yeah,
majority of this,
like,
yeah, it was just like, I mean, I
so
wasn't
I
thinking
can
about that.
remember maybe when it was May
Mm-hmm.
or April,
Yeah, like
I
when the
could
weather
go
started getting,
outside
yeah, and that was just because it
after
was dark a
school
little, yeah.
because it stayed dark till like 8 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
It was still light at 8, but I
Yeah,
had to come in
right.
at 8 and take a bath and go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
But then you couldn't be away from the front of the house. Like you had to be in the front.
Let's tell it.
Like these kids roam the street.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy. And the sad thing is they have access to their parents. Like they can get cell phones. They can, we didn't have that.
Hell no.
So it was just like they had to know where we were, like,
And see, y'all don't be grounding these kids enough.
oh, they're terrified too.
Y'all don't take phones enough. Mm-mm. When my mama said stay in your room, she meant in the room,
In the room.
not in the house.
And the only time
It
I
was
didn't
like
have to
living in a
ask,
jail cell.
listen, the only time I didn't have to ask to come out the room was if I had to go to the bathroom. Other
Yep,
than
that was
that,
it.
if I wanted a snack or something like
I
that, I
couldn't
had to
come up the
ask.
hallway. The bathroom was out my room to the right,
Uh-huh.
and then that was going past her room. I couldn't come up the hallway because if you turned to the left, it was the kitchen, and
Right.
it was the living room with a diner. I couldn't come. I couldn't go that way
Like, where are
without
you
permission.
going? Like, wait a minute, you took a wrong turn, girl. Come back to see,
Because
yeah.
you damn sure couldn't go in the kitchen without no permission.
Oh no. Uh-uh.
What you doing out that room?
Yeah.
I just wanted some water. Hurry your ass up.
Okay. Child, but that's where, but we looked at it back then as like, damn, but now it's just like it helped us out. We needed that
Mhm,
guidance. We needed that, that bit of strictness, like you
mhm.
can't just think that you can go out here and do what you want to do.
Yeah, and that's why all y'all's kids is getting shot at and shit. Because y'all done let
Child,
them kids believe they can do what the hell they want.
run everything. Okay.
Listen, I'm telling you, the worst beating I ever got in my life. Then they told me don't go in them people's house. Now I was in the basement. I came outside. She didn't. When I say she didn't say a mumbling word, as they say in the church,
And I bet you were terrified.
I listen. She just started walking, and I pushed my bike and walked behind her.
That was it.
She didn't stop. We only lived like literally. If I was in our backyard,
Mm-hmm.
I could see their backyard.
Mm-hmm.
They just lived like on a corner. Once you turned the corner, it was the house next door and then our house.
Right.
She started walking. I was pushing my bike behind her.
Mm-hmm.
She walked straight to the backyard. I left my bike. She started pulling them switches off that tree.
That was
Pop,
it.
pop. I
It
was
still
like,
didn't say nothing to you.
nothing. She was like, get in the house. Get in there. Girl, by the time I got walked through the garage, through the back, and I'm telling you, she was on my back. I don't know if she started running or what,
But she was there. She
but
appeared.
she was there. And we was at the top of the basement steps. She started beating my ass
Mm-hmm.
down the basement steps.
Listen.
And I will never be ashamed to say that I pissed on myself.
Mm-hmm.
Never. I'll never be ashamed to say it. Because listen, she beat my ass till I pissed on myself, but
Mm-hmm.
no problem. And my granddaddy probably saved my life because he heard all that damn commotion on the basement step.
Okay.
And he came to the top of the kitchen and stepped down and said, "What is going on?" He thought I was dying, okay?
Basically.
Hey, she said, "Get back there and get in that bed." Listen, I woke up and it was dust, okay? She beat my ass into a coma. Do you hear me?
Basically. Okay.
I had a nightgown on when I woke up.
Yeah.
I was in a coma. I don't know if she put it on me, if I put it on.
Right. Didn't have a
But
clue.
I had my little nightgown on, and I woke up. It was dark in the house. My granddaddy was gone to work. Like it was dust
Right.
outside, like orange. I walked through the kitchen, and she said, "It is not funny." She said, "Do you want a peanut butter and jelly?"
That's it. That's it.
Woo! Baby,
And you
listen.
better not have said no. That's the thing, even
Hey,
if you
that's
weren't
how
hungry.
black parents ask you, "Is you okay?" That's
That's
how they
it.
apologize.
Mm-hmm.
She said, "Do you want a peanut butter and jelly
Mm-hmm.
sandwich?" And I was like, "Yes, ma'am."
That's it. Okay.
Child.
You woke up out your coma and had a peanut butter and jelly and probably took your butt
But
right back
baby,
to bed.
but this, guess what? I don't disrespect nobody.
Uh-uh.
I don't do it.
Listen,
And I listen.
girl, one time, I don't know what I did. I don't know, probably my mouth or something. And my grandfather, he didn't say, he was just like that. It's like when they don't say nothing, that's when you need to be
You
scared.
dead. When they don't say nothing, you dead.
Yeah. It was quiet for a long time. And then he told me to go out there and get a branch off the tree.
Child.
So my smart ass, I go out there and I'm taking like a long time. Like I was out there for a long time thinking like, oh, he'll forget, whatever or something like that. No, that pissed him off even more. Just me
That's
being,
gonna make him mad.
yeah, and I'm not thinking that. I'm thinking like,
Because
oh,
now you're not doing what I told you to do. So now you
girl,
playing with me.
and I know you're being an asshole. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because my grandfather was a huge asshole, so he knew one. You know
Yep.
what I mean? So it was just like, so that was the worst beating that I ever
Mm-hmm.
got. And I was just like, ever since then, I didn't do anything but try to please them. That was it.
Listen, belts don't have nothing on switches.
No. Y'all be scared of these
Like,
little belts? Shit.
belts don't have nothing on switches.
No.
Cause it's like, no, I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna say that. Listen, it's as close to plantation beatings as you gonna get.
That's it.
Cause it's so like, wow, wow, wow,
Yeah.
wow, like, and it's
Yes.
quick.
It's quick.
It's quick.
Mm-hmm.
And you talking about breaking flesh?
Okay.
Woo! Child.
Child, you can't take a bath for at least a couple days. I mean, you're just
Oh
gonna
yeah,
have
no,
to,
you
yeah.
hurt.
And they know
And I
it.
tell that story to people, and then she be like, "Do you want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich?" And I be like, "I was thinking, no, I need a Band-Aid and some
Okay.
gauze."
Right. I need the emergency room. I need to go to children's.
Listen, and look, you tell that story today, she gonna say, "Well, you should have did what I told you to
That's
do."
it. That is
She ain't
it.
backing down from it.
No. Mm-mm.
Shouldn't have been hard head.
That's it.
But she right though, because I tell people, I don't talk around people's kids like on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Because it just teaches a level of respect.
Right.
It teaches kids, but that's why kids are so grown, because
Mm-hmm.
it teaches kids every conversation is not for you.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be in every adult conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I knew when my grandmother was on the phone, I couldn't be in the room.
Yeah.
When her friends, like sometimes my grandparents would have their friends come over and play like cards. They would play spades or bid whiz and when that doorbell rang, I got up and left.
Yeah, you didn't even
They
have to
didn't
be
even have to
told.
tell me to get up.
No, you knew what
When
to
I
do.
heard the doorbell ring, I got up out the living room and I went to my bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
And to the point, like Miss Curtis, which was the lady who would come over,
Mm-hmm.
Miss Curtis would like come back there and peek and be like, "Hi, Keisha. This is
Yeah.
her, Miss Curtis." Because we went to church with her. Like she was a
Mhm.
member of the church. Child, listen. I stayed in the child's place.
Yeah. And I remember
These kids think they places everywhere.
listen, I remember, and I was definitely in my 20s at this time because I remember I was working at Chase, and we like this one lady, she was like this white lady, and she's probably a little older than us, not much, but she said, she was like, "Yeah, Danielle," she was like, because I think we were having a potluck or something, and of course, I don't really eat anybody's food, but
Mhm,
I was sitting there eating a little something, probably something that was like out of a package or whatever.
mhm.
So I was sitting there eating, and she was like, "Yeah, Danielle," she was like, she was like, "You're such a sweet girl," and she was like, "I don't really know much about you. You don't really talk much or whatever," and I was like, "Well." I was like, I learned just basically, growing up that, you basically just speak when you're spoken to.
Right.
And she was like really thrown off by that. She was just like, "Oh, really?" I mean, the way that
Because
she
they don't raise their kids like that.
no. And the way that she made it sound like it was like the worst thing. And I was like, "Are you serious?" I was like, "That's why your meddling ass is always in shit because,
Yeah.
and but yeah, it's just like if you're not
Because
raised
see,
that
to be
way,
white in America is
mhm.
to believe you have the right to know everything.
Right,
You have the
exactly.
right to say whatever you want,
Mhm.
whenever you want to. And that's why they're thrown off by our silence.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
what they fail to realize is we don't have the same place that you have.
Mhm.
We are not allowed the same freedoms that you are allowed. I don't care
Mhm.
what the Constitution says.
Yeah.
It does not apply to black people.
Mhm.
And because we know that, but you live in a bubble where you believe that we do have those same rights,
Mhm.
when you see us being silent, it I don't want to say offends them, but it's a little off-putting.
Yeah.
No,
Yep.
we don't have anything to say to you.
Yeah, no.
And we don't trust y'all. Are you
I
crazy?
mean, can we just talk about it? No, there's no trust. No.
Why would we trust y'all again?
Okay.
Y'all the same group of women, especially white women. Why would we trust y'all?
Mhm.
Y'all the same women who lie on black men every chance you get.
I mean,
We don't trust y'all.
okay, that right there.
Y'all the same women who scream rape and do all that kind of stuff to black men.
Mhm.
No, we don't trust y'all.
No.
Cause I don't like that old Negro spiritual dress boy that what's her name? Megan Good is married to.
Um,
But I also
Jonathan
don't believe he
Majors.
did nothing to that white woman.
Oh no. Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
that's one thing I can do. My ability to not Jonathan Majors, that's his name.
Mhm.
My ability to not always like you,
Mhm.
but to not jump on a bandwagon when people don't like you,
Right.
I'm gonna be fair with you.
Yeah, and especially if I don't personally know you, I'm gonna be like, "Come
Yeah,
on now." Like don't get
I
that
don't
involved.
think he did nothing to that
I
white
don't
woman
either. And I
at
hate,
all.
and I'm gonna say this. I think, well, to me, he still is the victim, but I think he was the victim that night because you saw him
Yeah,
running away. That was all we saw.
we know how we black. We know how hard it is to run in dress
Hmm.
shoes. That man was trying to get away from that woman. He was fighting for his
Okay.
life on that street.
How many times we playing at church?
Listen,
Trying to
and you
and
done
slipped
busted
it
your head open.
in them damn
And this
dress
is what I'm
shoes.
saying. So again, speaking about the freedoms and the rights that they have,
Hmm.
she was chasing a black man down the street.
Yeah. Now that would have been
Imagine him chasing
child.
her.
Listen, he would have been
It would have
arrested.
been 15 police cars out there.
Okay. He probably would have been no more. Let's just keep it real.
Yeah, they would have shot him.
Hmm. But that's all they got to do. Play the victim, and we
Well,
know
I think
that.
we really kind of wrapped everything up. We did good to not be
Yeah.
here last week.
Yeah, we got everything. And one good thing was that, nothing really big, happened. Like where we
Yeah,
were just
we'll
like,
see what the week brings.
child, you never know.
Well, as always, you can reach us at girl underscore you know what on Instagram at DannieBSpeaks and at Wellness and Women. Until next week, you all enjoy yourselves. Bye bye.
Bye everyone.